Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for April 21st. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and with me today is Mel. How you doing, Mel?
I'm doing so good. We are here on this M day. So we got Mel in the morning, we got Mary and Mari tonight for the recap, and we have Mess in the house, which is what we love.
Man, wish it was a Monday, huh?
I know, right? Well, we got the Wednesday, which is an upside down M, so it kind of works.
And you know what? This house is upside down, so it's all right.
So really, it's perfect.
Yeah. All right, we are here to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother Canada 9 live feeds. It was day 53 in the house, and really just, more of the same in terms of the direction things are heading. It was probably a little bit less quiet than I anticipated, as plans were leaked out much more so than you would think they would be, but you would think anything at this point in this house.
We didn't even get a break. It was like 7:30 in the morning. Like they're waking up, and like right away we get some action, and that kind of sets the whole day off. So it was a pretty full day.
Yes. So there was a lot of talk about next week and what nominations might be. Kiefer and Ty talked about putting Beth and Tara on the block with Brayden as the replacement. Kiefer says to Ty that he would like for Ty to be able to not touch the block so that they both have nice, good arguments to go to the finals. Like, oh, if you touch the block, then you're not going to be as willing to bring me to the end because you won't be able to beat me. So I want you to not touch the block so that you know that you can still beat me.
It's weird logic, but I follow. I don't know how much weight anyone is putting on. Oh, well, I would have voted Kiefer, but Ty didn't touch the block, unless he's just counting on Ty putting a whole bunch of weight in that. I don't know. I didn't really see the logic in this too much.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of interesting conversations between Kiefer and Ty. But Kiefer and Tara talked. Kiefer has come up with a new phrase that they've talked about the back door. They've talked about the screen door. But they think that he says what they did to Jed, it should be called the trapdoor.
Oh, the trapdoor! They hype each other up so much. Like, get yourself some friends like these guys, because it's going to be the trapdoor Tara. It's going to be so great.
Man, Kiefer's going to be best friends with the announcer.
The mullet man.
Oh no! Oh, the announcer man's going to say this, isn't he? Well, can he say it the Wednesday? They could say it on the Thursday episode introduction.
Yeah, they trapdoored.
Well, the move is the trapdoor Tara, I think.
Yes, the trapdoor Tara.
Yeah,
but that's not applicable to future moves. You can't just name a single move unless you're Dan Gieslin.
Well, I think Kiefer thinks he is Dan Gieslin.
That's true.
I mean, he's willing to dole out these names to other people because he is so gracious.
So the trapdoor. I feel like I don't know if we need a name for what this is for a person using the veto.
I think we do for a horrible, awful mistake putting up your ally.
I mean, I think it's just called the Marcellus.
Peter?
I think the Jed thing is the Marcellus. Putting up your own ally, I mean, that goes way back. We could call it the Howie. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure it goes back further than that, but
I think we need an alliteration. Whoever did it first, come up with their name, and then we'll come up with a name. Hopefully, their name also starts with T. We can just call it the trapdoor. I mean, I don't know.
It should just be called "Don't Do It."
Yeah, that's also a really good name.
Yeah. All right. So Tara and Ty are going to talk. Tara tells Ty that one of the reasons why she didn't put him on the block was that she was concerned that Kiefer might have turned on him. I don't buy this from Tara personally. If she's worried that Kiefer is going to turn, and that's why she didn't put Ty on the block, then she wouldn't have put Brayden on the block, because if Kiefer's willing to turn on Ty, he's also willing to turn on Brayden. And she was more concerned earlier that day that Kiefer would turn on Brayden than turn on Ty, because she was concerned that there was a legitimate Final Four going on. I also think just in general, now there was some talk from Kiefer that implied that maybe he would have turned on Ty. He's now talking about targeting Ty, and he's also been kind of standing up for Beth. So it's certainly possible that Kiefer would have turned, and it's certainly possible that that was part of Tara's reasoning here, and not just something she's telling Ty after the fact. But I would still say, despite all of that, that if Kiefer turns on Ty, oh well, who cares? That's actually what I was saying, is that Ty should prefer to be on the block next to Beth than to Jed if Kiefer is willing to turn on Ty if he's next to Jed. But obviously, you know, lest people misinterpret that, Ty should not want to be on the block at all. But yes, it does seem like Kiefer is, as Kiefer does, willing to go in basically any direction.
Okay, so I think I figured out the house a little bit. So they do this bad move, and then the next week they do this awful, like way worse move, and it ends up making it so that the bad move works for them. So it's like they're validating themselves. So for example, in this instance, they kept Kiefer, which was a bad move. But this week, if they had Tina, they don't have any chance to flip her. She's going to do whatever Tara wants. But they have Kiefer, who's a wild card, and they can kind of do something with. So they shouldn't have kept him. But by the fact that they did this awful situation with the block and the veto thing, it might work out for them. I don't know. I think they're just always trying, I don't know, maybe just making more mistakes will circle back to being the right move sometimes.
Look, again, at the end of the day, like in a game of Big Brother, somebody has to work out for somebody. There has to be a winner. It has to work for somebody, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they did something to make that happen. They're also going to, Tara and Ty, reconfirm their final two. I talked about this last night. Everyone has a final two with everyone at this point. Tara and Ty are the new TNT. That is their new final two for them. But none of these final twos are meaningful in any way as far as I'm concerned because, again, everyone has one with everyone, and everyone has talked about targeting everyone. Except for Brayden. Nobody's talking about targeting. Well, nah, that's not true. Beth is talking about targeting. All right. Everyone's talking about targeting everyone for the most part.
Tina's body isn't even cold yet, Tara. How do you go and replace Tina and TNT? It's an outrage. But yeah, it's really interesting that like no one's targeting Brayden, but he's on the block and they wanted him on the block, but they plan to get Jed out. We think, they think. It's all very strange.
Yeah. Tara is then going to talk to Beth and let her know that Jed should be leaving this week. Tara's going to spill some of these beans. And Beth, you should vote him out too if you want to do what's best for you so that you can, you know, be a part of the narrative here that you did not need Jed and that you were willing to cut him and all of that. She says, Ty has been in on this plan all along. And you should get on board as well.
And this sends Beth into a tailspin for the rest of the day because I think, to be honest, like Tara's being very nice here. She's being honest and Tara is being honest the rest of the day. She's like, this could be Beth's move. Like Beth wants to cut Jed and it's going to be really hard for her. And she has the option not to. She has the option to get Brayden out. But if she cuts him, then that's going to be huge. And a lot of people are going to be impressed by that. And all day, Beth is just, I can't believe this is going to be Tara's move. And I can't do it. I can't give Tara the move. And it's just like, Beth, if you would just own it, like if you would do it and then say, yeah, I did this, as opposed to all these other things you're claiming you did that you either didn't do or shouldn't have done. This is the thing you should do, I think. And you can own it, but it's like she is just so wrapped up in the fact that it would be Tara's move. That's like a big part of why she can't do it, or at least that's what she's vocalizing. Maybe she's saying this could just be a reason. She's like, I don't want to do this, therefore I'm going to find these reasons why I can, and this could be one of them.
I do really like this move from Tara, actually,
Me too.
because I think that Ty and Kiefer are making a mistake by continuing to play out this farce, and that'll get more and more extreme later in the day. But they are basically providing Tara with the opportunity to step in first and give Beth the heads up. And there has been a connection between Beth and Tara. That connection was damaged when Tara put Beth on the block, but with Tara being the only one giving Beth like the truth here, that is a bridge that could be very valuable moving forward. If Beth does not end up targeting Tara, that would be huge for Tara moving forward. So I like this, and especially throwing Ty all the way under the bus, saying that he's been in on it the whole time, is again very valuable because you want to continue to separate Ty and Beth.
Did Beth know that this was coming when Tara told her? Because she didn't seem that surprised. So did she just hide it very well? Or was it kind of like, yeah, I guess I kind of figured?
Well, I think that Beth is always kind of putting on airs. So like her initial response to this is to be like, oh boy, here it is. This is the opportunity. Like in her mind, it's just like this is her opportunity. And I don't think it sinks in or hits her until later. Wait a minute, Ty's been in on this the whole time. This is not even my move. And that's when she's like, oh wait, no. Because prior to that, I think that she was like, yes, okay, this is what I've been talking about. But she wasn't like thinking big picture yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So she has, a whole conversation to herself, which I'm not going to get into today. But she does talk to Ty about making the move. She's down. She's like, oh, are we going to do this, Ty? Like, you're into this? And he's like, I mean, we have to do it at some point. And she's like, oh my God. Oh, I feel so bad. Man, it sucks to do this to him though. Don't you feel bad? Ty's like, no. Okay. I just feel
uses
sick.
such like vivid imagery. She's like, it would be such a dirty move.
Yeah.
This would be disgusting.
This guy, I feel sick. He's gonna be crushed if we do this. And Ty's like, yeah, he's probably gonna need therapy after.
Ty, like goes back to what you were talking about. Can't remember if it was last night or on Monday. Like, what happened to Ty? Where's Ty? Like, it's great. We love to see it, but like, he almost went like a little too far. It's like total, complete savage. I don't care about his feelings at all. Like, he must feel a little bad.
It's very confusing. The completely emotionless Ty is very confusing to me.
I wonder if it's just the fact that it's been 53 days in this house. Like they are over it. All of the waffling takes a lot out of you.
Some people have said that this is Ty on Slop. That this is hangry Ty, and that's where it's coming from. And honestly, I'm starting to. I mean, like Ty, previous to this week, had a diet of many waffles. He had a steady stream of waffles that he was able to eat, and now all of a sudden he can only eat Slop waffles, which are not as good as regular waffles, and I think that he's upset about it.
Okay, that could be true, but as we will see later in the day, the feeds go down for the skip the dishes vote. He gets some.
Yes.
Skip the dishes. He gets real food, and then later in the day, he's still very, very savage. So I don't know.
Well, I think that. So my theory is that was Ty. That was him still having the effects of the Slop waffles, and now heading into Wednesday, Thursday. I think that Ty might be back to his usual self by Thursday, and he might cry for Jed.
Okay, we will have to see.
We'll have to see. In case anyone took that seriously.
I mean, there could be a tiny little grain of truth to it, where it's just like he's exhausted, he's hungry, he's over it.
Being a have-not is going to increase irritability for sure. So Ty says he's going to need therapy after. Jed comes in and pitches to them. And Ty's like, you don't need to pitch to us, dude. Do you even know what situation you're in? You are on the block, and it's all your best friends are voting for you. They're your voters. Like, you are the most good of anyone in the history of the show. Could you imagine if you were like on trial and the jury was just all of your friends? That is your position right now. You don't need to pitch to us, dude.
Ty, way to just like just rub it in right there.
And he's gonna continue to do this all day. Even when Jed clearly knows that he's turning. So but Jed pitches anyway, but it's just, we've been day one, so on and so forth. It's pretty boilerplate. Us three to the end. Then Kiefer walks in and he's like, so us four to the end has always been the thing. And that's funny. Kiefer's gonna
even says he's like, if you guys, what was it? If you vote me out, I'll never talk to any of you again. If I went to Haida Gwaii, I'd not even say hi. I'd say bye to Gwaii.
Bye to Gwaii.
Really cute.
Yep. So after they leave, Kiefer's gonna talk with Ty, and Kiefer says, if you think about it, Beth isn't that dangerous. Tara knows her days really well. And now that she's gotten Jed out, like, she might be the front runner to win this thing. And, you know, Beth, not that great at competitions, probably can't win this thing. And Ty's like, you know, I hadn't thought about that before, but you're right. Maybe Tara should go next instead of Beth. I was thinking target Beth next because just like, I just wanted her to go right after Jed after all of this, but that's probably the emotional play. And, you know, I don't want to do the emotional play. I want to do the logical play. And Kiefer's like, yeah, I don't think, like, if we brought Beth to the final three, I don't think that would be the worst thing in the world. So that's that, you know, they kind of discussed that option. Ty ends up asking Kiefer, who are you most nervous about right now? And Kiefer goes, me? What, you're nervous about me? Why are you nervous about me, Kiefer? Kiefer's like, yeah, look, Ty, I'm nervous about you. I'm seeing what you're doing to Jed. If you can do it to Jed, you can do it to me. I mean, it's the logical thing to do. Why wouldn't you take a shot at me? You're taking a shot at Jed because he's going to win this game. I'm going to win this game. So why wouldn't you take a shot at me? And Ty's like, oh, Kiefer, I would never do that to you. He's like, but you were just talking about don't do the emotional thing, do the logical thing.
Kiefer, stop telling the truth. Stop it. Don't tell someone, oh yeah, I'm pretty worried about you. Like, that just, I mean, it's probably not going to do anything because this house is bonkers, but yeah, I don't know. I did not love this.
Yeah, from either side, really, but definitely, Kiefer should not be saying this out loud. He should be thinking it, but he should not be saying it out loud.
That goes for 50% of the things that Kiefer says. I am so great. I'm going to win all the competitions. I'm going to win this game. I'm worried about you. Just stop saying those things.
Yeah. Beth is then going to go to Jed, and she is going to give Jed the heads up. Ty is snaking you. I don't know where Kiefer's head is at yet, but I know that Ty wants to vote you out. I had a whole conversation with him. And you know what? I was thinking about it, and Jed, I cannot let you go. Only I am allowed to take you out of this game, not Tara, not Ty. And so I need you here, Jed. I need you to go talk to Kiefer and Ty. I'm going to go campaign as well. We need to make sure that they know that Brayden is dangerous in this game, that you're loyal to them, so on and so forth. They plan out the campaign. And Jed is just like awestruck. He sits there in the bed, biting his nails for the next like hour.
I feel so bad for Jed here. Like these games are hard. Like, it's so easy for us to sit here and say that was a really stupid move, and it was a really stupid move, and he should have to feel that. But like, to do it, to feel like you have like these such close, tight people, and some like just to do it and then realize and then just be left there with your thoughts. They played me. I got played. I'm going to go home. This is going to be the move. People are going to make fun of me forever. It's going to be the Eric in Micronesia. Every time they talk about crappy moves, it's going to be Jed saved Beth and she voted him out, or they voted him out. But yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah. So that's where they are. Then, things kind of settle down for a little while. The feeds go down, they come back up. Kiefer, Tara, Brayden, and Ty start talking. They're concerned that Beth may have said something to Jed because Jed is acting a bit sketched out. And so they're like, stupid Beth. Always ruining things. Beth is then going to talk to Ty again. Very long conversation where neither of them are really giving each other anything, and Beth keeps trying to like draw Ty out and get him to say like who he's going after next week, and he's not giving her anything. She asks like, so who would you put up? And he's like, well, probably Tara. She's like, who'd you put next to Tara? And he's like as though he hasn't thought about it.
Right? I was watching this and I was like, there's two options. Like, pick a name.
Yeah, she's like, well, probably not Brayden, right?
Oh, right.
Would you do Kiefer? Maybe. Me?
That's it, buddy.
Are you putting me up? Oh, well, no, of course not you. And they talk. She just keeps talking about like how disgusting this move is. She can't believe that they're making it. Maybe they shouldn't make it. And Ty is just like not into this conversation. He later says he does not have the stamina to talk to Beth. And he's just like, So what? Should we just keep him then? She's like, I don't know, because we do need to get rid of him. And Ty just keeps saying, like, I cannot win this game if Jed is here. I cannot win this game if Jed is here. He needs to go. Should we just keep him then? Jeez. And they keep going back and forth. In this conversation, I saw some confusion online because Beth says something along the lines, or Ty asks Beth, like, are you okay? Like, are you going to be okay? And she's like, what do you mean? It's just like generally. She's like, I'll be fine. Like, I've been faking it for the last, 50 days. I can last another 2 weeks. And some people, I think, interpreted this via Twitter updates that sometimes don't have full context as Beth saying that she's been faking it with Jed for the last 40. That was not the context in which she was saying that. She was saying that she was faking with other people, that she was like totally fine all season long. Not that she was faking her relationship with Jed.
Yeah, no, that's a real one, at least in the house.
Yeah, in fact,
won't be when they get out. But
she makes a point of telling Ty, I don't want you to think that the Jed thing was game. I have been talking about cutting him all season long, but it's real for me. I really like him. Now, say what you want about the validity of that statement, but that's what she actually says, as opposed to what some people thought that she said.
So we have Beth going to Jed earlier in the day and giving him the heads up, which, to be honest, I could see her doing whether or not she intends to vote him out to give him the time to campaign. And then she tells Ty here that she doesn't know what she wants to do, which could be the truth, or she could know that obviously he knew about this and didn't tell her, so she can't trust him anymore. At this point, does Beth want to vote Jed out?
I don't think she does. I think that she thought about it at first, and then when she tells Jed, I think she has made the decision, I don't want to do it. Now, this is Beth. And whether it's regular waffles or slop waffles, she loves waffles. And so I'm sure that she is going back and forth in her mind. But I do think that she is actively trying to save Jed. I think that she would love to get to a point where she makes the choice, because right now she doesn't. Right now, Ty and Kiefer are making the choice. And I think that she will push as hard as she can to flip at least one of Ty or Kiefer, and then she might change her mind and vote out Jed. But until that point, I think that she is trying to keep Jed.
Because she's doing that in an interesting way where it's like every point that Ty brings up where it's like, we have to get him out, like we can't win, like everything. She's like, yeah, no, I know. She's like completely agreeing with him. And I feel like if that's her long-term plan to eventually flip them, she's not fighting back at all. She's not saying, well, like he's only won such and such or anything like that.
Ty keeps telling her, I'm like, anytime she brings up a point of not evicting Jed, it's always an emotional point. And Ty says, that's emotional. Are we here to play emotional? No. He's telling her exactly how to convince him, and she refuses to take a logical stance. And, there's not really a logical stance for Ty to keep Jed at this point. But you need to come up with something. You need to come up with something that is not just, he will feel really bad. Won't you feel really bad? Because that is not going to work with Ty. He's saying it over and over again that he doesn't care.
And that's all. It's just like this whole conversation is just like Beth saying, oh, I feel so bad. Ty saying, we can't think emotional. Rinse, repeat for an hour. And it's just like, you're not getting anywhere. No wonder Ty's exhausted afterwards. Like, I hope Beth picks up the pieces and comes together today and say, okay, if this is what I want to do, at least right now, before I change my mind again, then here's my plan. I don't think I saw her pitch to Kiefer yesterday. Maybe that could be a today plan. I don't know if they should just divide and conquer, her and Jed, try to do some sort of, I don't know what they could offer, because you can't offer final two deals. They're mean nothing. Everyone has them now. So I hope they at least try to pull something out.
Yeah. Well, Jed is going to talk to Ty on advice from Beth, and he gets very emotional. He starts crying to Ty. He can't believe that he did this and he put himself in this situation, and he's starting to really feel like he's not going to stay, and he's going to look like such an idiot. And this is the last thing he wanted. Like, not only is he going to look like such an idiot, like that's one thing, but it's that it would be his friends doing this to him. That's what really hurts. And he is completely in tears, and Ty is looking at him and no emotional reaction. He's like, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know what Beth is doing then. I don't know why Beth is acting so sketchy and making you feel this way unnecessarily, because you don't need to worry at all, dude.
Yeah, and Kiefer says the same thing earlier. Like, why are they trying to pin this on Beth? Of all the people,
It's
I don't
very
know.
strange. It's very
It's
strange.
the girl that gave you the heads up is the one secretly trying to get you out. The one that's like clearly being very like feeling very bad and talking to you and like validating your emotions versus us two who are just like, yeah, man, I don't know. Like, who are you gonna believe?
Yeah, they took a note from Spicy V and went full gaslight here. Like, dude, why are you being so crazy? With the tears, like you don't even need to be doing this. It's Beth is just getting in your head. You have nothing to worry about. We would never turn on you. It's Beth that's being weird. Like
they do talk earlier when Tara and Bray are together, and they're like, should we tell him before the eviction? So the current plan now is to tell him like right before the eviction, just so he's not completely blindsided. That is obviously subject to change, but yeah, they plan on keeping this up for the next 2 days if they can help it.
Yeah, Beth says to Ty in that conversation that I was talking about earlier that we are not blindsiding him. We are telling him ahead of time. If Spicy V deserved to be told, if Kiefer deserved to be told, and we gave them that courtesy, there is no way that Jed does not deserve that courtesy. And Ty reluctantly agrees. So we'll see where that goes. But I still don't even understand why they're lying. There's no point. They're gonna vote him out anyway.
So I was thinking about that as well, and I get the attempt. So like like every time you tell someone, yes, you are going home. Here is the next 48 hours for you to ruminate with that information. He could try something, and obviously, if Ty and Kiefer are in it together, then it's harder for Jed to do anything because they are the only two votes. You'd have to sway both of them. But I understand not wanting to give someone the information that they have nothing to lose.
I normally I would agree. Normally I would say like the blindsides are often necessary because if somebody knows that they might go, they might start campaigning, they might start revealing information, they might start doing so on and so forth. But Jed already knows. Like he knows, he clearly knows. Beth has clearly told him, and he is telling them that he knows, and they're just continuing to deny it to his face.
Yeah, that is fair. I guess I just think like they're going to tell him at some point. How big of a difference does it make, like whether they only lied to him Monday or they lied to him Monday through Wednesday and then told him Thursday? I mean, that is a very long time to be lying to someone over and over again. But I'm just thinking if Jed goes to jury and it's like, oh man, they lied to me. Is it going to matter that it was a longer period of time they lied versus telling him right now? I don't know.
It's definitely. I mean, I think it tends to sting more when Jed is having these emotional moments and he's like opening up to them and they're lying, and then like what are they gonna say on Wednesday today or Thursday? Like, yeah, you know when we said that you were definitely good. Like I have an unfortunately strong feeling that Ty, based on what he's been saying, might go, you know, I wasn't gonna vote you out, but you started doubting us, and so.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say, but Beth convinced us.
that might be true too, right? Like I don't know. Like this is giving me more like Paul BB19 vibes of like I just can't handle the emotional. Like I just can't handle telling them. It's much easier if I'm just pretending that I have nothing to do with this for as long as possible. More so than any strategic merit.
One of Ty's things for not telling him is going to be like, well, he's going to see the goodbye messages, like whether we tell him right before the eviction or whether we tell him after the eviction saying we voted you out because this reason, which I think is absolutely not the case. Like letting someone be blindsided and then explaining after is significantly different than giving them the heads up. But Ty does feel like he said he's going to take ownership. He's not going to do a goodbye message like, oh, I don't know what happened. Kiefer must have turned. So
yeah. So Jed is gonna talk to Ty. Ty lies to him. Beth talks to Jed. Jed now feels good. He's like, you know what? I feel good about my talk with Ty, because not only did he cry to him, the feeds then cut, and then they talked and they hung out a while after. And Ty started to study with Jed for a while, and they were hanging out. And everything seemed fine, and they cuddled as a threesome. And Jed is now feeling better because like Ty is putting a lot of work into convincing Jed, no, I'm not voting you, only to now, like probably today or tomorrow, turn it back around. It's just very confusing. But he's like, I feel good about Ty now. I feel like we're good. And Beth says, that's great, babe. Just I don't want you to feel dumb if it doesn't work out, okay? And like you can see on Jed's face, he's like very happy, and you can see it falling. Like he goes back into that dark place because she's pulling him back into reality. And she's like, I need you to go talk to Kiefer. I need you to go campaign to Kiefer. And he's like, oh, okay. So he goes and he campaigns to Kiefer, who also plays dumb. I haven't heard anything like that. Why is Beth? I mean, is Beth just running around like being sketch? Like, I just feel like Beth is doing weird things. And Jed completely ignores what he says about Beth because he knows that it's not Beth. And he just says, he's like, Jed is saying, Kiefer, please keep me. And Kiefer's like, of course, I would never not keep you. That's not even a thing. I've never heard Ty say anything about anything. And Jed is like, dude, I know that you're going to vote me out. I'm just trying to campaign to you right now, and I'm just pretending that I don't know. And Kiefer's like, I'm willing to run with that. I'm not voting you out. And that's basically as far as it goes.
It's so hard to campaign to people that refuse to tell you what their plan is. It's like, how do you, please keep me? Okay, I'll keep you. Okay. Like, how do you go next with that? Here's all the reasons you should keep me. They're just going to keep being like, no, I don't need to hear it. I'm keeping you.
I mean, I think there's a lot of merit in the attempt of pretending that you don't know that the other person is snaking you, because you can make points to them in ignorance that they will be more open to than if they thought that you knew, and their guard would be up more because they know that you were trying to persuade them, right? So if Jed pretends that Kiefer is still completely on his side, he has no reason to lie to Kiefer when he thinks that Kiefer is completely on his side. So he can sneak in some information that Kiefer may accept more readily. However, in this particular instance, Jed is not doing that, first of all. And I think that Jed needs to just come out and say, dude, I know that you're going to vote me. Stop lying to my face and tell me the truth, so we can have a real conversation, because at this point, what he's doing is just batting up against a brick wall here.
Well, plus Kiefer knows that Jed knows, because they know that Beth, they basically
suspect.
know that Beth told him. Yeah,
Yes.
They suspect it, but they think Beth has done it, and Jed's been acting all weird, and now he's going to pitch. Like, I feel like you have to draw that line. But you're right. Jed still does need to be like, okay, let's put this like really out in the open in case you think there's any chance I don't know. I do know, and now we can like have this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Kiefer then spills everything to Tara and Brayden about the pitch. And he's also going to have a conversation with Tara. We mentioned this last night during the roundtable, where he talks again about how Beth is not that threatening, and that maybe they should take a shot at Ty next week instead of Beth. For some reason, Kiefer is really, I think they've made such a fool of Beth this week that Kiefer feels like she is at the bottom of the list now, that Beth can't win this game. And so he's starting to look at who's a bigger threat, Tara and Ty. I think that he would love for Tara or Ty to go next week if possible.
I will say I need to apologize to Ty, because I'm pretty sure the last update I was on, I said there's no way he's going to be able to separate himself from this trio, but it seems like he did. And I mean, to be fair, it seems like it's because he genuinely separated himself from them. Like, he's not faking it. Like, he kind of hates them a little bit now. But they seem to be welcoming him, and it's not like, oh, we need to make sure Ty and Beth don't pair back up. It's just like, we are seeing Ty as the single person who also might be a threat, in addition to Tara, this other single person. So whatever he did well.
Yes. All right. So, Mel, anything else that you wanted to bring up from yesterday?
Only the mystery of the missing study board.
Oh, yes. Jed has a study guide. I think we talked about this a long time ago, but it has vanished. Somebody stole his study guide. We do not know who it is, as far as I'm aware. Ty denies doing it. Beth denies doing it. They were the only people who knew about it, and all of a sudden, it's gone.
I have no leads. Like, Beth wouldn't.
I suspect Ty. I mean,
you think so? You think he'd go that far? Like, he's already full savage. Is he just gonna go one more
he's
step?
He's the most savage person
board?
in the house at this point. He's the only person who knew where it was.
Jed is leaving.
He spent hours studying with Jed, trying to get info from him. If it is anyone, and it's not just production, I think it's got to be Ty.
That is just. I hope we get that confirmed, because that will be crazy.
No, I really don't know. It could be anyone, or it could just be. I mean, it could be it could be that Jed got rid of it himself, or is like
Ooh.
moved it somewhere else, knowing that Ty is not with him anymore. Jed moved it and is like, oh, it disappeared. Somebody took it. And so that Ty wouldn't have access to it anymore. I don't know.
I didn't even think about that. That could be it as well. Kudos to Jed if that's the case, because it would take a lot of emotional capacity to be like, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm going home. Oh, but I also must remember the strategy and not let Ty study anymore. So yeah, I really hope we figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, that actually makes a lot of sense to me, because he would want to move it, and then he would tell Beth where it is, right, before he leaves, so that Beth would have access to it, but not Ty, because Ty knew where it was.
Yeah, and they need that study guide. That is essential. Whatever mustard and pasta on a piece of paper.
Yeah. All right. I see a lot of suspicion on Brayden as well. Brayden spent the whole day adamantly saying, Jed's gonna get over this. Jed's gonna get over this. It was like him and Tara, like they all talk, like Jed's gonna be fine. He's acting like he's gonna die. He's gonna be fine. Like, geez, let him have his moment. This is one of the most brutal things that's ever happened in the game. Let him be sad for like a day, man.
They're all just turning into savages now. It makes for an interesting endgame if they're going to be able to just turn off these emotion switches every time someone leaves. But they're not doing it in like a bullying way, like we've kind of seen before, like at least not yet. But they're listening to Jed. They're still hanging out with him. They're still cuddling in bed. So I like that part of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we have for you here. Had to get a bit of a quick one in here today, but still. Fun day. We are, I imagine, still looking at a potential Ty Jed confrontation, a real one. Perhaps a Ty or Jed and Kiefer confrontation. We still do not know necessarily where the targets are going to land in this fake double eviction. But you know, a lot up in the air here. We'll just have to wait and see where it all goes, Mel.
Yep. Could be a good day. Could be another very messy day. Hope we get a decision from Beth today, at least for now, before she changes it.
All right. So that's what we have for you. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother Canada 9 live feeds. Of course, we'll be live tonight after the episode to recap tonight's episode of Big Brother Canada 9. I'll also be live during the episode on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong to watch. Hopefully there won't be anything else to make my face go down. And then tomorrow night after the eviction, we'll be live to recap that episode as well. We'll also have some circle coverage coming your way very soon. Episodes 1 through 4, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be the coverage schedule for the circle. So check all of that out. You can also find me on Twitter at Armstrong Taran. Mel, where can people find you?
You made it through a whole update without complaining about the fake double eviction. Look at us. You can find me on Twitter at YouCanAndYouMel. And tonight, I am going to be talking about the 25th best season of Survivor Samoa, with the great Puya, the Nipple King, Zan Vakili. So I'm really excited about that.
There you go. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'll see you next time.